We wanted to get a new pet during the pandemic. We finally moved into like a pet-friendly building, so we couldn't decide cat or dog, because I wanted a dog because obviously, right? Like if you get a dog, it's 99% guaranteed your dog's gonna love you. Yeah. Cat, 50-50 shot. I've had people that are like, can you feed my cat? And I'm like, okay. And they're like, okay, here's the thing. Open the door, throw the food in, and run! It's like, nice pet you have. And so, but I traveled a lot. We couldn't decide. And also, it was hard to get a rescue, right? Like, and you have to have a rescue in Vancouver because you get judged if you don't. I have friends that got a Bernese Mountain Dog, and they've been telling everyone they rescued it from a breeder. They're like, it was a terrible breeder, we rescued him. And I was like, for $5,000? But it is a beautiful thing. If you get a rescue, that is a beautiful thing, but you get to call it a rescue for 6 months, and then it's your dog. You know people who 8 years later are still like, well, he's a rescue. Oh, for the love of God, Janice. Let it go. It's not fair to your dog either. He's trying to build a new life, put his past behind him. We can't do that with our partners, can we? We've all dated somebody with a terrible ex. You're not allowed to be like, this is my boyfriend, Chad. He's a rescue. Should have seen him when I got him. Don't touch his head. He will freak out. So Jay he's a cat person. Somehow we make it work. And we were driving in Vancouver and we heard this on the radio that said there are currently 2,500 cats in Vancouver that need a home. 2,500. So he looks at me, he's like, come on. So I go, okay, fine. So we go to the cat rescue place, pull up. I don't even put money in the parking meter. I just put the blinkers on, ran in, and I was like, hey, I'll take a cat, wrap one up. And I don't know if you've met people who work at a cat rescue place. They really like cats. This woman looks at me and she's like, you need to fill out an application. And I was like, you need to understand supply and demand. Right? What are you doing? You got 2,500 cats back there. We don't have time for this. I thought the headline would be local hero adopts cat, $24.99 to go. So she gives me the application, and the first question is, do you rent or do you own? Obviously, I rent. If I owned in Vancouver, I'd be getting an Arabian horse. Right? I'm getting an $80 pet. Take a leap. Then the next question, I didn't even know how to answer it because it just said, what are your hopes for your cat? UBC? I don't know. How high do I dream for this little guy? And then the third question, it was like this, and it wasn't really a question, it was like a section, it was bold lettering, and it said, do not ejaculate for 7 days. No, that's not what it said. So in bold writing, it says, if we let you have a cat, you're not allowed to let the cat outside. Right? You've heard this. This lady hates this joke. So it says you can't let the cat outside. And I made the mistake of asking why, because I grew up with cats. They went outside all the time. And I go, why can't I let the cat outside? And she was like, an indoor cat can live an average life of 15 to 18 years. Outdoor cat, average life expectancy, 2 to 5 years. Which to me was the perfect amount of commitment I was looking for. Right? I don't know where I'm gonna be in 15 years. I didn't say that to her, but then she's like, sign here and promise you won't let the cat outside. And now I'm super annoyed. And so this is where I answered like a comedian and not a grown-up lady. Because she goes, do you promise not to let the cat outside? And I go, well, we live on the 26th floor. It's kind of up to the cat. Which, thank you. I also thought it was hilarious. I went up for a high five. She made me wait in the hall. So Jay finishes the interview. They're getting along. They're cat lovers. They're getting along like crazy. And then I get brought back in, and she goes, "You've been approved." And I was like, "Ooh." And she goes, "Do you want 1 cat or 2 cats?" And I love a deal. So I was like, "For sure, I'll take 2." And then she starts putting the cat stuff on the table, and she put 3 litter boxes on the table. And I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she goes, "Well, cats are very territorial. However many you have in your home, you have to have an extra litter box." I was like, "Oh, no, I live in an apartment. I can't be the boozy aunt with 3 litter boxes, right? Like, that's not a good look." And I go, "Oh, no, I'm not having 3 litter boxes." And she goes, "Well, then you can't have 2 cats." And I was like, "Fine, I'll take 1." And Jay's squeezing my leg. You know when as a couple, the other person's like, "Shut up." And I'm like, "I can't. I'm a Scorpio. Watch me go." And she goes, "Well, if you take 1 cat, you still have to take 2 litter boxes." Now I'm mad, and I go, "You know what? Fuck you. I don't want any cats." And then she made me take 1 litter box. It's so crazy. So you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for supporting this tour. My name's Erica Sigurdson. Good night.
Like that? There's more where that came from. I picked out a couple more clips I think you'll enjoy. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe to get the latest content from the Snowed in Comedy tour.